Ah, the blank page, the start of a new piece of artwork. And I'm sure many fellow artists can verify that they can get all their pencils ready and then they might have like a block of what they're going to be doing. However, I do on this occasion have something in my mind on what I want to, on what design I want to create. So, I personally recommend that if you are struggling, I would start with a simple shape, like a border, so to speak. So I'll just create that now. Okay, and there you go. So you've got the basic border. Now, I find that always that drawing a border really does help to get the creative ideas flowing through. And then it's basically a decision about what you want to do a design of. Now you might see the faded outlines of something I was thinking about drawing, which was going to be a frog, but I decided against that, and instead I am probably going to draw a fox. Now I could have started a fresh page, but I don't like to waste paper, so yes, I'm going to do a fox design on this same piece of paper. And once you have an idea of what you want to draw within the border, you can start planning it out. So you don't have to keep any, and nothing needs to be neat at the moment. For example, this border is going to be neatened up later on once I have the basic design down. And so I'm going to start by deciding where I want this fox to be and just draw basic shapes to basically say, hey, this is what I want, what this is what is going to be happening within the border. And we can go from there. But you could also be a bit creative and like have parts of your design coming out the border. That's what I do like to do sometimes, because although the border is there, you do not need to be restricted to it. But yeah, you can have fun with it. So let's get this fox design drawn out. Right, so that's the basic shape of the fox done. You can see probably where I've gone over a little bit because I haven't been satisfied with the positioning. And proportion is something I've never been too great with. So, but mind you, I'm relatively okay with this tonight, and then tomorrow we can go in with further detail. Okay, so now we have the basic drawing of the fox done. Now this is the fun part where you can either decide if you want to like do a realistic drawing of the fox, but I am personally going to input like a design style that I like to do with a lot of my art projects here. And I will give you an example of it as I'm working on it in progress. So I'm going to start with the tail. I'm just going to neaten it up a little bit just to get rid of the extra lines or strokes that we don't need, and just neaten up the edges like so. And now the design style that I personally like to go in with is a type of shape design, or line art if you will. So the line art works basically by just doing a line around the shape of the fox. And I think it creates quite a cool pattern, because this way I am not limited to trying to make it look as realistic as possible. Because personally I do tend to not only do I struggle with proportion from time to time, but I also struggle with realism, like trying to make it look as realistic or identical to the living subject or object as possible. So yeah, it's kind of like well, I wouldn't call it a cheat code, so to speak, but it can put your own type of creative flair into it, because it doesn't have to be like line drawings. It can be anything you want. Like you can draw like lots of different shapes within the fox design, like or design of your choosing. You could do like a lot of circles in there, like, or you can just be creative as you want with art. That's what I've always liked about creative design, is like, you're not restricted. You can be as you can literally do anything with it. But yeah, so that's the tail done. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm fine to capture this bit on video because this is what it's about. It's about making errors. I didn't phrase that right. It's basically I'm happy to show you any errors I make along the way as well, because it's all part of the design process. You're going to make a few mistakes, or well, not necessarily mistakes, but things you're not too happy with. So foxes obviously have they can have the white tip to their tail on the end, and I kind of want to incorporate that. So I'm gonna, let me just rub a bit more off there. The funny thing is, it might be a bit messy at the moment, but I'm going to go over in pen once I'm happy with all the lines, because oh, I see. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out where that line was going. Yeah, so I'm going to go over this in pen afterwards. So I'm not too worried about like all the pencil lines that aren't needed for now, because once I finalise where the lines are going to be and I've gone over it in pen, I can literally then erase all the lines out. But yeah, so there we go. Right, then moving on to the tip. So I'm gonna fill up as many I'm gonna fill the shapes in to as many spaces as I can. Okay, so there we go. So it may look a little bit, you probably can't tell the separation like too well at the moment, but that's why once this is done, I'm going to go over it in color. So there you can see where it becomes separated a bit more clearly. You might even see it clearly when I go over it in pen, but we'll see. So now that the tail's done, I'm going to continue this process throughout the fox design, and we will see what it looks like when a lot of it is done. And there you go. So there's the basic pattern I decided to do for the fox. Like I said, you can be as creative as you want with your design. You could do anything you want with it, really. And now for the background. Bibbidi bobbidi boom! There we go. So there's the outlines drawn out. Got the background done, got the fox done. And then I am now going to neaten it up with a black pen. But yeah, so as you can see, I like working with lines and shapes. And the lines that I do, I just basically, when I'm working on the outside of the fox, I basically just go around his shape. So I like going around the shape of things, and then once it forms into a connected shape, I can then work around that shape, and the shape gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But I'm not restricted to making shapes, because sometimes some of the lines may go different ways. So if I'm left with one line, I basically just continue it in like a spiral pattern, or a triangular spiral pattern, if you will. So yeah, and basically there's a lot of creative freedom that can go on with designs like this, because you're not like really restricted to anything. You can be as experimentative with it as you want. I think I said it experimentative, right? Or experimentative. I think it's experimentative. But yeah, correct me if in the comments I'm wrong. But yeah, so now it's time for the pen, and yeah, we will continue the video from there. Now, there is the worry about this part of the design process, because when you're going over with pen, you will worry about whether you're going to make a mistake. But the trick is just literally just to be patient and be calm with it. And if you feel yourself getting a bit too anxious, just take a break and then come back to it in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, just don't rush the process, because if you rush it, that's when you will make a mistake. But yeah, it's quite relaxing doing this, because if you relax yourself, you can just get into the groove of so you can just get into the groove of it, and just enjoy it. Okay, so that's the background done as well. The fox design is completely lined up. So now it's time for me to add the colour. I've been having a think about what type of material I wanted to use for the colour, like whether it be colour pencils, paints, pens, or a digital media. I do kind of like using digital media because it does give you that safety. Like, so if you make a mistake, you can just undo it. But there's something authentic. I don't know if authentic's the right word, but there's something quite nice about using the hands-on paints in that as well. I probably won't use like proper paint for this because it's like quite a delicate design with the lines and everything, and I don't want to like it to lose that. I don't want to lose the detail in with the paint. So yeah, I'll have a think about it and then I'll start going in. Good evening all. So I've made some progress with colouring in the fox design. I ended up using acrylic pens, which I've got here. They are very good. I mean, I do like using them. I find they bring out really nice, vibrant colours. But obviously I wanted to keep in line with the fox's environment and go for like more greens and browns. But I think I'm quite happy with how it's looking so far. And the pens themselves have this cool shimmery effect, especially the gold ones, which I do like. So if this was, for example, framed in the light, it will sometimes catch. So it's got this nice little reflection going. But yeah, I'm making good progress, and I will let you know when it's done. Or, oh, sorry, I'll film again when it is done. Okay, and there you have it. I'm pretty happy with how this one's turned out, to be honest. Because with the acrylic pens, I like the fact that you can get like a sheen like to the design. So like if you walk past it, it sometimes catches the light. But yeah, I am pretty happy with how this one's turned out. I do actually kind of like the design because I love foxes. So yeah, thank you for staying with me during this video and helping me with this design. I hope this has inspired some people to try out their own design. And yeah, I hope you all have a good week.